Now, although I'm not folding, I'm not going to sit there and say I'm not upset about the Eagles losing last night because that was some bullshit. I just knew the Eagles were going to win that game last night. I just knew. Okay, Jalen Hurts threw 3 picks before overtime. Offense looking shaky per usual. Saquon, I call him Shayshawn. Shayshawn broke one, 52 for the tutty. Cool, we needed that. But still, besides that, it's like every time he touches the ball, he gets hit in the backfield. We're not looking our best. We're not. Offensively. Defense comes to play. The only game they didn't come to play was against the Bears. Defense comes to play. So I'm like, man, that one really hurt. That was tough. I'm not going to lie. That was a tough loss. Like the Bears, okay, you kind of saw it from the second quarter that, boom. Cowboys, that was tough because we were up 21. I think this year, Cowboys was the toughest loss. This has to be the second toughest loss because we go to overtime. We have the momentum. We're looking good. I'm like, we're going to win. We're driving. We're in the red zone pick. Now, it's so many parts of the offense. And not only that, Jake Elliott. Like, it's so confusing, bro, because we're such a good team and we're such a especially good playoff team. But it's like we do dumb shit in the regular season. Jake Elliott, just like last year, regular season at least, missing field goals. But then in the postseason and Super Bowl, he's one of the highest percentage field goal kickers of all time in the Super Bowl and in the playoffs. He does his thing in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts, regular season, throw picks, does questionable plays, but playoffs and Super Bowl, he turns up. So I'm not going to lie. And then not only that, just to talk about the offense one more, I don't know, it's play call. My man's, he hit me up, asked me, is it the offensive play calling or is it Jalen Hurts? I said both. And not only that, A.J. Brown. I mean, he calls out players, he calls out coaches, he calls out game calling, game planning, rightfully so. But he has to get called out too. He had 2 crucial drops. One was that slant or that dig route across the middle that went through his hands because he knew he was going to get hit. Yeah, he had to jump and he was going to get hit, but okay, catch the ball. It went through his hands, interception. The second one was towards the end to win the game in the end zone. Jalen put it in his hands, and he didn't necessarily drop it because he dropped it. It was a good play by the defensive back, Cam Hart, number 20. Perfect performance from Maryland. Shout out to the crib, but I mean, those were two in his hands. And then there was another like bomb that Jalen threw to him that looked like he kind of, I don't know. But I'll say this, man. I'll say this about the Eagles' loss to the Chargers. We just lost, 3 in a row. We just lost 3 in a row. Our offense doesn't look good. Looks very questionable. A lot of people are saying we're going to be first-round exits in the playoffs. A lot of people are saying Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. He's a bum. Cam Newton was right. I'll say this, despite all that, we're still winning the Super Bowl. I'm as optimistic as it comes. I'm as optimistic as it gets when it comes to being a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I cuss them out. They get on my nerves. I'll tell them about themselves. I'll call them garbage, trash, all that shit. But at the end of the day, I rock with my birds and I rock with my dog, Jay Hurts. Why? Because he's taken this team to 2 Super Bowls. He's never missed the playoffs as a starter. He's a Super Bowl MVP. And now y'all going to say, oh, the team carried him. Oh, he's only there because of Saquon and AJ. Let me ask you this. If it's so easy to go to a Super Bowl with a good team and win, then why did the 2007 New England Patriots lose to the Giants in the Super Bowl? They were 17-0 leading up to the game. They were clear favorites. They had Randy Moss, second greatest wide receiver of all time behind Jerry Rice, but if you ask me, he's the number 1 greatest. Defense was unstoppable. They had the GOAT at Tom Brady. Why did they lose? If it's so easy to win just because you have other pieces, why do these teams lose in the Super Bowl that are favorites? Because at the end of the day, you have to win the game. And the quarterback is the most vital piece in winning a game. That's why they're paid the most. That's why they're praised the most after wins and scrutinized the most after losses. Easily. If he played like garbage in the Super Bowl last year, we don't win. He had to make tough runs and tough throws. He played superb, which is why he got the MVP. I say all that to say he's looking bad right now. He's throwing picks. But I guarantee the play that he made that cost us a game in overtime, that interception, I guarantee he's not going to make that same throw in the postseason. And if there's any quarterback in the NFL that I have faith in being ridiculed to the most right now, everyone's stepping on his throat. Commentators, other coaches, coordinators, podcasters, radio, everyone is dogging him out right now. If there was any quarterback I had faith in that could hear all that, block it out, lace up his boots and get to work and be better and be prepared for the playoffs, it's Jalen Hurts. If there's any coach, they're talking about firing Sirianni. If there's any coach that I had faith in that could block out the ridicule, block out the noise, lace his boots, shave his head again if we have to. We drove this man to shaving his head because he was scrutinized so much 2 years ago, last year, and got it done. We were talking about firing him last year. I remember that, right? Super Bowl winning team. We were talking about firing him last year. Shaved his head, laced his boots, got to work, won the damn thing. If there's any coach, Nick knows what's going on. Nick been through the mud too. Remember when people were saying Jalen Hurts and Nick were beefing? If there's any quarterback and coach combo that I had faith that can turn things around, it is Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, because they've done it before. They've been under the fire before. They came out on top. If there's any field goal kicker that I had faith in that is fucking up and missing these 50, 48, 45-yard kicks in the regular season that can turn around and make them in the postseason and Super Bowl, is Jake Elliott. Why? Because he literally does that. He did it last year. He didn't miss a single kick in the Super Bowl last year. Or the Super Bowl before that. I think he's perfect in the Super Bowl. Jake, the playoff make. I don't know. I just think our team has a real playoff P type vibe. Now, you might be saying, listen, you gassing it. Y'all look bad. There's no way y'all going to just turn it on overnight in the playoffs. Well, why not? How do we know they won't? Playoffs is a whole nother beast. Whole nother beast. Do you really think people were saying in 2007 that the Giants were going to make the playoffs first and foremost? They was a wild card team. They snuck in. And do you think people were saying they was going to run through the playoffs, run through the NFC, run through San Fran, run through Green Bay? And do you think people were saying they was going to beat the undefeated New England Patriots with Randy Moss and Tom Brady? Do you think people were saying that? Playoffs is a different beast. This man right here, Jalen Hurts, this is playoff P. Prime example. He exudes playoff P. If there's any quarterback I had faith in that could turn it around for the playoffs, it's him. Damn sure more so than another quarterback in our division. I'm not going to mention any names because then Cowboy fans will be salty. Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all really have faith that your quarterback can turn up in the playoffs and take y'all to the Super Bowl? Realistically, no. Why? Because he's never done it. I have faith in someone who played kind of questionable and skeptical in the regular season. Comes playoffs, he turns it around. They said he couldn't throw last year. They said he couldn't play last year. Playoffs, does his thing, take us to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl MVP. It's doable. I'm just the type of person, listen, y'all see the hoodie. I'm just the type of person, I like to pay attention to what someone has or has done already, not what they're capable of possibly doing. Not, what's that word? Potential. I don't give a damn about potential. I want to see what you have now and what you have done before. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, QB, quarterback, they've showed that they've screwed up before, brushed the dirt off, blocked out the noise, laced their boots, got to work, and got it the fuck done. Same with Jake Elliott. So I got faith in my birds, man. Just like that. Go Birds. And make sure you revisit this. Save it, highlight it, download it, all that. Make sure you revisit this. I'm going to put it on Instagram.